Yes, hi guys. GM to everyone. Good evening to our fellow Web3 community, Filipino Web3 community, and also to our viewers. So we are here again with our DDC On-Demand. Actually, session was cut off a bit, so but we'll be continuing now. And of course, tonight we are thrilled to bring you an exclusive about Lido CMS home staking workshop live. And whether you're new or staking or looking to optimize your setup, so this session is something for everyone. So we have our guest here, our expert, Sir Samuel, aka Stakesaurus, which works on initiatives to expand on the talent of ETH solo and home stakers across Asia. So he will guide us through the essentials of some staking, how to get started, and how it matters. So let's jump in. Welcome, Sir Sam. Yeah, thank you so much. I know you're quite busy, and thank you so much for having time for us. At least it's a great learning session for the Filipino community. So, yeah, let's get in. So, Sir Sam, can you like briefly share how you got involved with its solo and home staking initiatives with Lido? Mhm, mhm,
Feature of making things a lot more efficient, cutting out a lot of middlemen, right? But because with Bitcoin, you can't be involved with in participating in the consensus. And then when I read about Ethereum and then the discussion around the transition to proof of stake
mhm,
enables individuals to participate in blockchain consensus, and that was what really got me excited. But of course, back in 2017, it wasn't ready yet. And then I continued to follow the developments of this proof of stake transition. And then sometime in 2020, I think it was the end of 2020, the beacon chain was first launched, and actually I was very excited. I wanted to do it, but I couldn't. I didn't have the confidence because
yeah,
I don't have a
yeah.
technical background. So it took me quite a long time after that in order to build my confidence, practice, have sufficient practice before I decided to become a solo staker. Um, to actually become a solo staker on the mainnet.
Mhm,
So that happened in 2022, sometime in April or in Q1 of 2022. Um, and then I started telling people, hey, this is so possible. Even me without the technical background, I could do it.
mhm.
Of course, it took a little bit of work. But if you guys are keen, I can teach you how to do it. And then over time, this more and more people became interested. Some of them naturally asked me to do the whole setup with them for them, and um, some of them asked me to like, hey, can you like manage it for me as well? But I only do that for my close friends. For
Mhm.
as a community grew, I stopped doing that because it's one, not scalable. Two, is not really aligned with trying to improve decentralization and trying to increase solo stakers. So what happened was I started documenting all of my steps from the perspective of a layman,
Mhm.
and then started sharing it with people, whoever I wanted to teach. Um, so in a way, I open source my own documents, um, and these documents, these guides are kind of designed for the layman without technical background.
Mhm.
Um, the existing guides I used so far, to me, it was great, But when I shared it with like people who wanted to solo stake as well, the feedback was like, "Dude, this is too difficult for me, man." Yeah, so I was
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
"Yeah, just
Uh-huh.
just try it, man. Try it out. You gotta really try it before you." When you just read through it, you won't understand anything, right? Or
Mm.
you won't understand half of the things that is being written because these are uh, Linux system administration like commands. Of course, you're not going to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I understood where they were coming from. It's sometimes they make a lot of assumptions on what you should already have known, or what you should have known based on what you've done before. So what I wanted to do was to make it very streamlined, as much as possible, make it copy and paste. And believe it or not, even then people can still miss a step, get it wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
Okay.
a lot more abstraction that we need to do in order to bring in the mass market. So okay, back to your original question: how did I get involved with being a Lido community lifeguard? So as I was doing all these like community building activities in the realm of solo staking, I think it was in 2023. Um, the Lido guys reached out to me because there was this Lido Community Lifeguards initiative that was proposed and approved by the Lido DAO, and they were looking for suitable candidates, to serve as this role. Yeah, so we are independent grantees, and they were looking for three very strong Lido community lifeguards, and I was one of the applicants. And after a couple of months of discussion and meeting with the Lido team and all that stuff, I was nominated along with Isaac, so I cover Asia, and like Isaac covers Latin America, and then there was the previous lifeguards coordinator. His name is Eridian. He was covering Europe. Yeah, so that is my story. I started learning how to solo stake. I
Mhm.
started teaching people how to solo stake, and then now I'm helping Lido's community stakers throughout their journeys of using the Lido community staking module, and we can get into that a little bit
Mhm.
deeper.
Yeah, that's an amazing journey, Sir Sam. So eventually, as you can know, the early days of Ethereum, the staking process is quite a bit tricky and
Mm.
difficult, but you're able to create some procedure on how to put it into a layman's aspect, and that's a good attribute to expand the staking process. Now, I've heard that recently there is an event in Singapore, Token 2049, and you're
Mhm.
able to host a fireside chat with Vitalik. Can you
Yeah.
share something? What happened on that, and what was the discussion all about?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
So, for context, during the week of Token 249 in Singapore, myself and Ethereum Singapore, we co-organized this, the very first home staking summit.
Mm.
There's obviously the staking summit that already happened for a couple of years, yeah. But we wanted to do something that is very much focused on home stakers and solo stakers. Um, and what this meant was that there were a series of workshops, hands-on workshops in person,
Mhm.
conducted by myself and a couple of volunteers who are existing solo stakers in Singapore, to teach a batch or a cohort of aspiring solo stakers, based on like the whoever the sponsors of the home staking summit was.
Mhm.
Um, so leading up to the conference, there was these workshops, and then during the conference, all of these participants, they get to then meet the people building these solo staking tools and solo staking protocols in person.
Mhm.
Get to hear them speak and discuss on um, key development topics around solo staking in person. So I think that was very meaningful, and they were able to, finally put a face to the all the discussions that they've seen online. So for example, if I tell them something, right, it
Mhm.
feels a little bit disconnected. It feels a little bit removed because it, like, who am I, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if they
correct.
hear it from like Lido, hear it from Puffer, hear it from like Vitalik himself, hear
Yeah.
it from the DVT guys, Obol, Demnon and all that. These are like brands and names that they've heard before, but they never really like put a face to the name until the home staking summit. So I thought it was very meaningful. It really created a lot of new enthusiasm for solo staking, not only just in Singapore, for whoever attended. And because it was Token 2049 week, a lot of people who are not locals, they flew in and then they attended as well. Yeah, so that was great. And my fireside chat with Vitalik, the topic was on the importance of solo stakers and exploring ideas on how to expand this talent pool.
Mhm. Yeah, that's amazing. So that's a very busy, I think, week for you during that time because
Mm.
there's so many events happening on that. Now, as I see, there are many projects that are being built on top of the narrative of solo staking, right? It's growing in that aspect. Can you mention some of the projects that are really advocating on alignment with solo staking?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of them.
Yeah, it is a ton
And,
of them.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Of
Uh,
course, I'm gonna say um, okay, so you have to think about it in a couple of verticals, right?
mm,
The key challenges of becoming a solo stakers, yeah. Number one is the technical barriers to entry.
mhm,
Number two is the financial barriers to entry. And then, of course, there's a softer aspect, which is like the cultural aspect. But let's take the first two, yeah. Technical barriers to entry. People who are solving this, right? It could be something as simple as myself creating like guides designed for the layman. But if you want to go a bit deeper, go to the next step, you have people who are building abstraction layers, abstraction tools, hardware and software. So guys like DevNote, they are the most mature providers of solo staking hardware. So it's a plug and play solution. You just buy the hardware, it comes pre-packaged with all the proper requirements. The OS is installed even. So you don't even need to write a single line of code. It's just like
mhm,
click and select, you know, just like installing something. This is like using an app. Yeah.
mhm.
Um, um, and then there's a new player called Chain Nodes who's trying to create a more affordable version using a different architecture, using the ARM architecture. And they're yet to be launched. I think they'll launch somewhere in Q4 this year, right?
Nice, nice. So,
And of course, there
mm,
are other like software players. You know, there's ETH Docker that I use very heavily. Something newer is called ETH Pillar. So ETH
mhm,
Docker basically abstracts away all of the command line inputs that you have to enter and make it as point and click as possible.
mhm,
Similar with eDocker, ePillar also does this, but using a different method. Okay, then now if you think about the financial barriers to entry, what is the issue here? It is vanilla solo staking requires 32 ETH
mhm.
for a solo staker to spin up a validator. Right, it's too much, right? This costs like 80k USD. Wait, what's the price now? I forgot it, but I think it's around 80k to 100k USD, right?
Yep.
Most people wouldn't have this unless you're an early buyer of Ethereum. You most
Mhm.
probably don't have 32 ETH.
Yeah,
Yeah. So then
definitely.
how do we then make it more accessible? Yeah, this is where the guys like Lido, for example,
Mhm,
comes in with the community staking module, reducing the barriers to entry from 32 ETH to these are still like pending DAO approval, but it can be as low as 1.5 ETH for the
mhm,
first validator key, and then 1.3 ETH for the subsequent validator keys. Naturally, Lido is not the only player in this. Rocket Pool was the first one to come out with this, starting with
mhm.
16 ETH, and then now I think it's not 4, 8 ETH, yeah, 8 ETH plus some
80.
RPL tokens. And then Stader came out with the 4 ETH model, and then Puffer came out with a 2 ETH model and even a 1 ETH model. If they one ETH requires a bit more technical skills, but it's still very possible. So yeah, these are all the exciting developments in the solo staking space that reduces both the technical barriers to entry and the financial barriers to entry.
Mhm. Yeah, that's really nice because there are so many projects that are really building on promoting solo staking, making it more really simple for any non-technical person. At the same time, of course, for Filipino, 30 to 8 is really a huge amount. So at least reducing that basically with, of course, what we're going to be exploring for tonight, which is the Lido CSM or Lido home staking. So understanding like the Lido community staking module, what is somehow like the how does it enhance the staking experience of a user? Like for
Mm.
example, having directly creating your own solo staking rather than using this module in that sense.
Sorry, what was the last part? Using the what?
Using the CMS module.
Oh, CSM module. Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Ma'am.
Okay, so from the get-go, yeah, the Lido community staking module, we call this a bonded validator kind of products. Yeah. So instead of providing the full 32 ETH, you provide a bond. Yeah. And then the Lido protocol will make the deposit of 32 ETH on your behalf, matching the bond that you provided.
Mhm,
The bond here is provided in case you do something malicious, or you make a very big mistake that cause
Mhm.
you to be slashed. Yeah, and if you're malicious, what you can do, right, is that you can try to steal something called MEV rewards. There are two sources of rewards for solo stakers. The first is consensus rewards, and this is mainly issued from the network in the form of inflation. And then there's like MEV rewards and transaction tips. Think of it as like the transaction fees that users pay you either directly or indirectly, yeah, for using the Ethereum network. Yeah, the because of how the Ethereum validator anatomy is set up, the node operator has the ability to change the fee address
Mhm.
for relating to the MEV rewards and transaction tips. Yeah. So in order to disincentivize and prevent this kind of behavior, right, the node operators, who can be anyone because it's permissionless, has to provide some collateral. Yeah.
Mhm.
In case MEV theft is detected, yeah, the collateral will be deducted.
Okay.
Yeah, in a simplified way, a simple way of explaining this. Yeah. Another event that can happen, right, is slashing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you heard
Mhm.
about this term, right? So if um, first of all, it's not easy to get slashed. You either have to be very deliberate or very careless. Yeah. And the most common ways of getting slashed is something called double signing.
Mhm.
And it's basically you have two instances of your validator key being active, being online, and then signing the same block. Yeah. And then when you get slashed as an individual, as a solo staker, your penalties will be around 1 point something ETH, maybe 1.1 ETH. Yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, yeah. So, but compared to the common misconception of 32 ETH being slashed, this is
Yeah.
very small.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the slashing penalty will be deducted from the bond or the collateral you provide. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So this what I was trying to say is it reduces the financial barriers to entry significantly. Yeah,
Mhm.
for solo stakers. Number two, the Lido CSM is designed in such a way that it's 99% similar in terms of process for vanilla solo staking. So
Mhm.
you don't need to run any additional sidecars, any additional services. Yeah, all you need to do is change a couple of parameters. Number one, the withdrawal address for the validator key that you generate.
Mhm.
Change it to the I don't know forget what's the actual term for it. The Lido CSM withdrawal address vault. Yeah. And then number two is the fee recipient address. We have to set it to the Lido execution layer rewards vault. And number three is the MEV relays has to be set to, or you should only use MEV relays that have been vetted by the Lido team. And
Mhm.
these, by vetted, means it's vetted for quality. Yeah, it's not vetted for censorship. Um, yeah, so it's 99% similar to the operational flow of a solo staker. And it's intentionally designed that way to make the lives easier. What else? Right, benefits of using the Lido CSM,
Yep.
right? So as a
Benefit.
solo staker, your rewards are not compounded, but
Mhm.
if you use the Lido CSM, your rewards are now compounded with the
Mhm.
largest liquid staking pool there is.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
naturally, you get the native compounding effect. Also, because your bond is provided in STETH,
Mhm.
yeah, now there are two sources of rewards: the bond rebasement and a share of the rewards from the 32 ETH that is kind of like allocated to you. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because now you're the node operator, and the proposed parameter for this fee split is 6%. Yeah. So if you just do the math, right, the boost to your staking rewards is around 2.37 times if you as compared to vanilla solo
From
staking.
vanilla. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So imagine um POS staking rate of say like 3.3%. Let's do some quick math, right? And let me
Mhm.
see if my numbers are still correct. You should get around like 7.2%. 0.33
Mhm.
times 2.37 is what? 0.78%. Sorry, 7.8%, in fact. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good difference from the
Yeah,
current.
and it's in pure ETH. I mean, it's in ST ETH, right? But ST ETH is also a high quality
Yeah.
asset. is not in any other inflationary assets, and these are real use. Real use meaning that this comes from a sustainable source.
Correct.
It's not just like printing tokens out of thin air.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, majority of the Filipino, I think, they're doing staking, delegating their stake, and of course, getting a commission from the validator also. So I think this is a good avenue if they can, like, for example, follow us on how really to build your home staking. It's on a parameter that it will be convenient at your home, at your office, just to maintain your basically your hardware and uptime
Mm.
24 by 7 basically. So yeah, I think we could transition, do
Mm.
some installation live here. Let's see, and anyone can follow. At least Sir Sam is ready to do that for us. Uh,
Yeah,
okay. Mhm. Okay. Hi guys, we're back again. So we're here. Sir Sam will demo us on how easy to create your own validator node using the Lido CSM. Then he will be going to do the step-by-step process. And okay, take away, Sir Sam.
sure, sure. So what you are seeing on my screen now is basically my open source guide, documenting my entire journey of being a solo staker, and I did an extensive coverage on the Lido CSM. Yeah, so all of the concepts, every step of the way, there's some like coverage here, right?
Mhm.
There's some content to help you understand it. And if you just want a very quick way to get your hands dirty, yeah, to try it out
Mhm.
for yourself, just go to automations, select any one of it. It can be ETH or ETH Docker, right?
Okay.
I'll show you the ETH Docker method, and there's even a video here for you guys to watch and follow along if you want to. So if you guys want to get access to this, right? Just go to, or maybe Ruben, you can send it to them.
Yeah, we'll be sharing the
Yeah,
URL,
yeah.
the link
Awesome,
for
awesome.
that. And also, I would like to butt in, Sir Sam. So we are currently on the testnet, right? We're still not
Yes,
live.
yes, yeah. We're
Okay.
still on the testnet.
Mhm.
The mainnet will come in around Q4 this year. I can't really say any dates yet
Okay.
because
Okay.
it needs to be approved by the Lido DAO as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, right. So let me show you how easy it is to do this, and it's actually free because if you just go to a new web page and go search for Google Cloud free credits, you can see you can try Google Cloud with $300 of free credits. Yeah. So I've already used up mine. Obviously, it's been a long time. But for the rest of you who have not created a Google Cloud account before, or even you just create it with a new email address, you can get $300 of free credits, and then you can practice for free. So for me, I'm just going to. So I've already logged into my Google account. So once you logged in, activated a free trial, just go to console. What we're doing now is to spin up our hardware.
Mhm.
And because we are using Google, the hardware is in the form of a virtual machine, hence VM. So create a VM. Okay. I can call it anything I want. Just call it DDC, CSM. Select an E2 machine. And now I need a machine with at least 8 GB of RAM, 8
Mhm.
gigabytes of RAM for the testnet. For mainnet, you need 32, right?
32. There's a
Yeah.
standard hardware requirements, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
there's a recommended one. Yes.
Okay.
All right. The next thing you gotta change is your disk size. See, size 10 GB is not enough, so we gotta change this. We'll select Ubuntu as our operating system, just so that it's standardized amongst all new learners.
Mhm.
And then the version, choose the latest one, 24.04 x86 version.
Mhm.
But this type, leave it as it is. Size, set it to 350 GB. Or if there's some restrictions, do 250 is
Okay.
sufficient. Yeah. Okay. Where is it? Right. Identity and API access, just set it to no service account. Firewall, just check these two
Mhm.
boxes. Allow HTTP traffic and HTTPS traffic. So as you can see, it costs around $74 per month to run this virtual machine,
Mhm.
which means with $300 of free credits, you can run it for more than 3 months
For three
and more
months,
than
yeah.
3 months of practice time for you. Okay, once that's done, create your virtual machine. See, I already have some others here.
So the storage, basically, what's the usage of high storage for your node, Sir Sam?
Yeah. So basically, what an Ethereum validator node is um, it needs to store, in a simple explanation, it needs to store the entire blockchain history. Yeah,
Mhm.
and every new transaction that gets that it receives from its peers, from the other validator nodes in the network, right? It
Mhm.
needs to execute against its own version of blockchain history to verify that these new transactions do not contradict the existing blockchain history. Otherwise,
Mhm.
it's invalid.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is why we don't. This is how we are not. Sorry. This is how we don't have to rely on any single um, central authority
Mhm.
to validate the transactions. Everyone does its part. Everyone checks against one another.
Okay.
All right. So once your virtual machine is set up, you can you need a way to log in to your machine, correct? Because it's not physically there. You can't just
Mhm.
like turn on your computer, right? So and the way to do that is using SSH. So connect using SSH. Right. Once you see this command line interface, it means you're logged in. Okay. So now, what you have to.
Just Sir Sam, we were not able to see the
Oh,
command
really?
interface. Can
Okay.
you?
Give me a sec. Uh, Let me reshare my screen. Can you see it now?
Let me check. Yeah, we can see it now. The terminal. Nice.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so once you're in, what you have to do, right, is go to my guide. The this part, prepare your VM or hardware, is already done. Okay, so what
Mhm.
you have to do is go to the next step. We have to first download ETH Docker, and the way to download it is just by copying this command here.
Mhm.
Go to your VM, paste it. Okay, done. Then now you have to install ETH Docker. Oh, wait, no. You have to add the ETH Docker to your user group. I will update this step. Okay, let me just show you guys where to find it. This one. Okay. And then now I have to exit and re-log in to apply the changes. Okay. Let me go back to ETH Docker. Okay. Oops, sorry. Now I have to go back into ETH Docker
Mhm.
and then install it. Okay, just let it do its thing in the background.
Okay, so the 8 Docker is installing all the components, everything in one go.
Yes.
Mhm.
So this is just the dependencies. It's not the validator node components yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, CS. All right. And then now just copy and paste this next command. Okay. Then what we'll do now is instead of doing this, let me just go to my guide. See, everything is copy and paste. Let's copy,
Mm.
paste. All right. So now select Lido Testnet. Okay. Select the Lido compatible node. Select community staking CSM node.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Select Nimbus for consensus layer client and Nethermind for the execution layer client.
Mm-hmm.
And then just click through the default settings. Then do you want to generate validator keys? Yes. Okay. Then generate one key. Okay. Okay. Set a password. I'm just gonna call it set it a password. Okay. You want to generate a new mnemonic? Yes. Right. Okay. So at this step, what ETH Docker is doing is installing all of the software components that you've selected.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So if you don't use ETH Docker, let me show you what you have to do. You have to do everything manually. Something like this. Right?
Yeah, that's a ton of steps.
Yeah. Yeah. And you need to set the configurations, the parameters manually on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have
Nice,
to do it
nice.
for not just Nethermind and consensus, right? You have to do it for all of the other dependencies as well.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
long procedure.
Correct. Correct. Exactly. Yeah. So Docker basically abstracts all of this for you.
Everything. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where was that?
Nice. Who's the creator of Eat Docker, Sir Sam?
Docker is created by this guy named Yorick, who is a core contributor of eStaker,
Mm-hmm.
and is also runs a professional node operator company that is
Mm-hmm.
part of the Lido professional node operator set. We call it the curated set.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, this company also uses Docker to run the entire operation.
Oh,
So Docker is useful not only for beginners, it's also useful for professionals.
professionals. Mm.
Yeah. All right. Choose a language. We select English for this key generation process, and then choose the language of your mnemonic word list. This is your seed phrase. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
select 4 for English, right? And then you'll see this 24 words appearing here. This is your seed phrase. So copy it, save it somewhere. Because it's a testnet, you can save it digitally. But if it's on the mainnet, write it down on a piece of paper. Treat it as the same way you treat your the seed phrase of your hardware wallet.
Yeah, definitely.
So after that, you have to enter the. If you do write it down on a piece of paper, you cannot paste it in this step for confirmation. You have to write it
Mhm.
down manually, and this is a way for them to check if you've written down the seed phrase
Yeah,
correctly. Yeah,
correct.
right. All right. So the key generation is successful. Success. And then you can press any key to continue. All right. So final steps. Is listed for you. We have to run our node and blah blah
Mhm.
blah. Okay, but anyway, my guide also covers that, so we'll just hit OK.
Estimated time that we would consume for the whole installation part, Sir Sam. What do you think? How much time we could probably consume installing?
For someone going through it for the first time, probably less than 30 minutes, 20 minutes plus. Yeah, but
Mhm.
if you like for me, if I do this without explaining anything, I think it's like less than 10 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So it can be very like less than 10 minutes, but
Mhm.
realistically, people will take around 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
and excluding
already a good.
excluding waiting time. You see, there's a lot of waiting time.
Yeah, waiting time during the download process.
Yeah.
So this is the main validator module already being installed on your VM, right?
Yes. Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
Nice. I have one question, Sir Sam. I
Sure.
want to get your thoughts on this.
Sure.
Like in a grand scheme, how does home staking benefit the entirety of Ethereum blockchain?
Hmm. Yeah. So I guess first we have to understand what validators do in a proof of stake network. Correct.
Mhm,
So in a decentralized system, right? No central people don't rely on a central authority for uh, to tell them what is correct and what is not. They have to check against their own version of history and
mhm,
determine whether things are correct or not. Yeah, and then
mhm,
they have to come to consensus with the entire network. And on Ethereum, the consensus is 67%. Um, so they have to basically you have to for each new transaction, you have to decide whether these transactions are valid or not. Correct, and
mhm,
you have to agree with everyone else in the network. Okay, now if you understand this, right? Imagine if the entire network of say like 30,000 nodes, right,
mhm.
are controlled by a single entity.
Yeah.
Would this give you decentralization? Right? No, correct?
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, because there's no difference from we might as well run one central server. Okay.
Yeah.
Now if it's controlled by two entities, it's a bit more decentralized, but then the two of them can collude and agree that let's change the history of everyone's bank account.
Mhm. Yeah,
Change
yeah, okay.
the values in everyone's bank account. Okay, so two is more decentralized, but it's also easy to collude. Now, if you
Mhm,
increase this number, as you increase this number, the more you
mhm,
increase it, yeah, the more decentralized it'll be. The harder it is to collude, which means
mhm,
the more secure everyone's funds are.
mhm.
Correct.
Okay.
So imagine if the entire network, entire Ethereum network is operated by solo stakers. It will be so difficult to collude. You can't even think of a good way to collude. You spend so much
Yeah,
money trying to coordinate this
for sure.
activity
Mhm.
that you just give up. If you were a malicious attacker.
Agree, agree.
Yeah. All right. So, of course, that's the simplified explanation.
Yep, yep.
You want to go a lot
That's
deeper, we also
that's a
can.
good one already.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so now what we need to do is we've already configured it, correct? Now we can start our ETH Docker containers,
Mhm,
right? So everything is created and started.
mhm,
So you have all of these. So the main components are the execution and consensus and validator clients, right? And then there's MEV boost that gives you more MEV rewards, help
mhm.
you optimize the MEV process. And then there's a lot of these additional supporting software to make your life easier.
Okay.
Okay, now we need to import our validator keys. But before that, we need to set some permission because we're on a VM. If you're on your own device, right, you won't have to do this step. Okay,
Mhm,
and then now we can import our keys, but we will have to wait for a while for the execution consensus and validator client to sort of warm up.
mhm.
Otherwise there'll be an error, so let's wait for a while first.
Yeah, okay.
In the meantime, let's move to the next step. Yeah, this is to uh, upload your deposit data so that Lido can make the deposit on your behalf, because now
Okay.
Lido doesn't know about your deposit data, correct? So we
Mhm,
need a way for Lido to know about this. And the way to do that is to go to csm.testnet.fi. Okay.
Actually, during my installation, I got error with that because I was not able to copy the whole the whole phrase.
Oh, why?
Because the screen is somehow resized, and during pasting, it
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
fit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know what you
Mhm,
mean. So you have to
mhm.
like this, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That solved my
Okay.
problem.
Okay, so now you're in the community staking module. So I'm just gonna like log out first. Yeah, you'll see this. Okay, and then you just click on become a node operator, connect your MetaMask wallet or whichever wallet you like to use
Mhm,
that is supported. Okay, so I'm just gonna connect this. Uh, probably maybe not this because I don't have in. Do I have enough ETH?
Yeah, with
Yes.
regards to the ETH, can you explain a bit how they're going to
Yes.
get that ETH
Yeah.
to
I
test?
will explain to
Mhm.
you very soon. Okay, I'll show you live even.
Mhm.
Okay. So what
Okay.
you need to do, right, is you need to go to wait, let me see. Go to keys. If you're creating you're using the CSM testnet portal for the first time, this is the first page you'll see. Okay.
Mhm.
So this deposit data file. Oh, seems I have the same issue as you now. Let me do it
Yeah,
again.
do
Yeah.
it again.
Okay, so now you have to copy all of this output from the opening square bracket to the closing square bracket.
Mhm.
Copy it and just paste it here. Okay.
Mhm.
Right.
Nice.
I actually have enough. Okay. So um okay, once you have found pasted it here, you can submit your keys. But of course, we want our validator node to be synced before we submit. In case the key becomes active before your validator node is synced and you start missing attestations. Okay,
Okay.
now if you want to get Holeski ETH, go back to my guide.
Mhm.
Um, Let me just see where I put it. Okay, it should be somewhere useful resources. Yes, under useful resources, Holeski faucets. It's a number of things you can use. So let's go to the first one. Let's actually open in a new tab. Okay, and then paste this in, get
Actually, I'm
tokens.
having hard time on that faucet because it's asking for passkeys of my PC, and I don't haven't set up the
You
pin.
don't you
I
don't know
did
your
not.
pass.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did not set up. I skip on setting up the pin.
oh, but
Uh-huh.
it's easy to set up, right? You can just set
Yeah,
it up.
SEC. Yeah, correct.
Okay, attest and get tokens. All right. Otherwise, you can go to Google, which is even easier. You don't need to set up anything.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see if we got it. Not yet. How about Google?
I remember before that there's a scars on your test it, and they even sold it for for some value.
Oh,
I
that's
think.
girly ETH, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so one Holeski ETH is has arrived in my wallet, so I have
Nice.
way more than enough to uh, provide the bond for my
On.
validator key. So I'm just gonna show you. Just submit keys,
Mhm.
confirm. Just like using DeFi.
Yep.
You can also view it on Etherscan. Okay, Etherscan already says it's successful. So let's just wait for the front end to update itself.
Mhm.
Okay, then now we can go back to our terminal. And if you forgot what we need to do, let's go back here as well. Okay, so we were about to import our keys earlier. So now we can import it. Okay, so there'll be some warnings to tell you that the imported keys are immediately live. So if there is another instance of the same key somewhere else active at the same time, you'll be
Mhm.
slashed. So
Yeah,
you
be
have to
slash.
acknowledge these
Mhm.
warnings. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so now you have to enter the password to decrypt your keys. Right, this is the password that you set earlier when you were
Mhm.
generating our keys. Okay. Okay, imported one key because we only generated one key. All right. So
Mhm.
now we can proceed to monitor our logs. So what you do, right, is this is the monitoring command. Yeah, and you can replace this container name placeholder, including the pointy brackets, with any
Mm,
of these actual container names here listed here.
okay.
Okay, so for example, we want to understand the validator, how the validator client is performing. So what we do is let's just copy and paste this. Go to replace this placeholder with validator. Okay, and you can see there's a couple of warnings and maybe one warning, a lot of info saying the slot start. The warning is saying that beacon node has significant time offset, and it's due to the beacon node is a consensus client, due to the consensus client, the execution client not being fully synced yet.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Now Control C to exit this monitoring view. Now, if you want to monitor, say, the consensus client, change it to consensus. Okay. So, okay. All looks good. No major warnings. No warnings, in fact. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Control C. Oh, you can see it's going to take 19 hours to backfill.
19 hours. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 19 hours to backfill. And the consensus client, it syncs almost instantly, but it needs to backfill the transactions. You need to download the history of the transactions. The execution client,
Okay.
however, will take a couple of hours to sync on the testnet because the consensus client can sync from a checkpoint, from a recent checkpoint, but the execution client needs to execute every transaction, every block from the
Mm-hmm.
first block, from the Genesis block. And
Oh,
this is to
okay.
make sure that um, each new validator or each new node is independently verifying the history of the blockchain before it starts executing new transactions. Okay,
Okay.
so you can see it's downloaded 25%, downloaded 26%. The progress is
So it
moving.
really takes time to sync everything.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
On mainnet, it takes at least maybe like 27 to 30 hours.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. So actually, we let's see, why is it still not updated? Let's refresh it. Okay, it is here.
Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yes, so we are done. So I think we only took 20 minutes,
Yeah.
even with all my explanations.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. So they just need to wait for the screen to update, right? There will be status
Yes,
there that is already
correct.
uh
Like active.
mm,
Yeah, yeah. If it's active, it'll
then
be here. Yeah.
activate. So total hours that they need to wait is more than 24 hours, correct?
Uh, it depends on how long the queue is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Depends on how long the queue is.
Yeah.
So,
Correct. Correct.
okay.
So and if it's activated, let me just show you here.
You have a sample that is already activated. There's
Yeah.
some.
Okay. Let me show you a general example first, so I
Mm-hmm.
show you the right one. Okay, this guy
Oh.
didn't perform that well, but yeah. So it look like this. It's active, and then you
Mm-hmm.
start seeing all the attestation rewards come in. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can
Amazing.
see this every epoch is 6.5 minutes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, every 6.5 minutes you get 6,500 GUI. GUI is like um a fraction of ETH.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this
Amazing.
guy, wait, oh, he got sync committee. Okay. So there are certain events that allows you to boost your income significantly.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you should get around on mainnet, right? I think it's 0.002 ETH. If you're not using the CSM, per day
Okay.
for vanilla solo staking. For CSM, you get 2.37 times of that. Okay, now I haven't used this wallet in a while, so I even forgot that I already have an active key here. So let's see if
Mm.
it's still active,
Yeah.
or maybe
Okay.
it's like offline already. Oh, it's still active.
Oh, wow.
So this is mine. Yeah,
You have a very consistent.
yeah, yeah.
Nice. How many months? How many already 1 month running or?
Um, I don't
Can
remember actually when they
date here?
yeah, 1 month. Yeah, I
1 month
was
data.
testing, trying to test the limits of the testnet hardware. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems that 8 GB is sufficient.
Efficient for running it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. You. So yeah, so guys, watching who are watching our mini tutorial here. It's that easy on how to set up to become a solo validator node on your home, on your office, using, of course, the Lido CSM.
Mm.
We have a comprehensive guide coming from Sir Sam, so we'll be sharing that link. And at the same time, we're able to create like a Telegram group for the Filipino solo stakers, which is Sir Sam is also there, so he could probably also support along the way when you're trying to install and getting some problems,
Mm.
technical problems again, to assist and to guide to make your first testing validator, solo
Yeah.
validator node to be set up and get successful in the process. So,
Yeah. So
yep.
just one more point before we end
Mhm.
off. So this QR code will bring you to the a Galaxy page, the Lido Galaxy page, so
Mhm.
that everyone who is attending this workshop will be able to claim the early adoption OS. And what
Mm.
this early adoption OS provides, right, is early access to the Lido CSM. When Lido CSM launches on the mainnet,
Mhm.
we want to make it accessible to solo stakers or bona fide aspiring solo stakers for a
Yep.
start. Yeah, because it's going to be permissionless. So if because it's permissionless and the boost to the staking rewards is so enticing,
Mhm.
a lot of institutions they would just shift their own like validators into a CSM, into the
Okay.
CSM module, correct?
Mhm.
And because there's a limit to how much liquidity can be allocated to the CSM
Oh,
module,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, like for a start. So we don't want institutions to take up all the liquidity. We want individuals to
Mm.
do it, right?
Mhm.
And this is why you need to claim the OS. Long story short, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll have to wait until this Lido CSM becomes fully permissionless to be able to use it, and by then maybe the solo stakers have already used up all the liquidity. There's
Yeah.
a chance, yeah, that we can't say, and we don't know when the actual um, end of the early adoption period is.
Mhm.
It could run for 1 month. It could be run for months.
Mhm.
Yeah, it depends
Agree. Wow.
on our decision. Yeah.
This is amazing. So guys who are watching and following us, scan this QR code and claim it on Galaxy, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to get
You
the
only need to find your
80.
wallet and then you
Mhm.
can claim it. Yeah. But please don't take a screenshot and then share amongst your
Yeah.
friends. This is only for you guys who are attending. We only want to
Yeah.
make it available for people who are truly interested,
Mhm.
and those who just want to like claim for fun. And that's limited. Yeah. So if
Mhm.
you send it to your friends, then maybe you don't have a chance to claim it.
Yeah, your slot will be taken. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a limited numbers for this. So the benefits for this is you will be having a slot already when Lido CSM will be coming live. So if you're an aspiring solo staker and trying to learn this, so of course get your spot here live with Sir Sam. Is giving us the opportunity. Imagine that from perspective of the basic native solo stake, I mean staking process of 32 ETH and going down to 1.5 to 2 ETH, then you
Mm.
can be able to be a validator node, of course, using the Lido CSM module. So amazing. It's a great opportunity. And of course, as I said, we have a Telegram group. We'll be sharing that also to onboard Filipino who are testing it, and we'll be giving them technical guidance and also help if they're getting stuck on the process. Then we'll be doing some, of course, initiatives, local educational initiatives for a Lido session testing also on what did Sir Sam demo to us today. So yeah, it's a great session with you, Sir Sam. Thank you for sharing your skills on this, and of course, at least as you said, solo staking is a very important for decentralization aspect. So the contribution of every individual who are going to aspire to be a solo staker is a good for the network itself.
Yep.
So
Indeed.
yeah,
Indeed. Well said.
yeah, Yeah, definitely. So thank you again, Sir Sam. We have an audio problem. I said on our technical on the first, so I'm going to introduce you again. So Sir Sam is works as an initiative to expand talent pool for each solo and homestaker across Asia, and he served as one of the three Lido Community Lifeguards that co-organize homestaking summit and the main instructor of DVT homestaker program with each staker and of course the Lido CSM staking module. So, yes, Sir Sam, thank you so much for your
Thank
time
you.
again. See you soon if we have another session coming up. And good night, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
having me,
you.
guys. Thank you.
See
Have a
you.
good night.
Bye bye.